Hello, everybody. So today I'm looking at mastering online. So as you know, when you get your tracks ready for release, you want to make sure they play on all devices, cars, boomboxes, MP3 players, phones, CD players, vinyl, whatever. So, but you want to have them mastered. So you want to have all your tracks lined up. If you do an album, make sure they fit in there. No track is too loud or too quiet. Or if you do a single, you can focus on improving your track a little further in the mastering, with the lows and the mids and the highs. Just get a little more definition and maybe clarity into your mix, into your final mix. So not going back to a mix, but that's what a mastering engineer does. He listens on his tuned system and he will make subtle improvements, very subtle. You can't fix a bad mix, we know that, right? But you can actually change your existing final mix and make it a little bit better, have more punch and all of that. But as you know, this is expensive. You have to go to another studio, and those mastering engineers know that. Their expertise, that's what you pay for. And easily you can pay between $200 and $500 a track or per hour to sit there with the mastering engineer and listening and fine-tuning your tracks. In the last years, AI has come a long way. And as you know, with Ozone, introduced to everybody for a couple $100, you can master your tracks yourself. If you have nice headphones, right? Those are reference ones. If you have maybe room correction or good speakers, you can do a lot of stuff yourself nowadays. But sometimes you don't have the time, or you want another set of ears or another computer listening in, right? So there are a couple of options now online. And when I started this a couple of years ago, there were a few companies like this one, Lander, been around now a couple of years. Pretty decent. A single master costs you $10, and you can get a monthly unlimited MP3s and 36 waves for like $12. So Lander's got some decent reviews. There's been Cloudbounce. Cloudbounce also, where's that front page? Here it is. Cloudbounce has been around for years. And they, have also various pricing options, 1090 per one track. They give you 3 tracks, actually. You get a 16-bit, a 24-bit, and an MP3. And then you have the monthly unlimited and all of that, and the annual, which you save a little bit. And of course, there is the free one, BandLab. I have not tried. Reviews were mixed, but it's free. You don't hurt. You can try it. And if it does anything good, hey, go for it, right? So this is BandLab. And of course, there has been eMasters, fairly new, by Grammy winners. They also have, let me see how much they are. They don't have single options, so you have to go for a monthly or yearly. So you might go for a year. See, they want the year commitment. So you better go for 156, or you pay $40 for 1 month. Here it is, $40. And then you can do unlimited masters, unlimited waves, and high-res MP3s. And so $40, okay? And that reviews were pretty decent. So look for other videos. I think some other people have done some, detailed reviews on those companies. And of course, Metropolis has been around. Those are real people in their studio actually listening and working on your track. But it's 85 pounds, which equals, I think, $125. And of course, the famous one, Abbey Road's mastering service, $130 per track, which is still cheap, right? I mean, if you spend $400 here in LA or New York or London on your track, maybe that they can do it off hours. They do it in their, I don't know how maybe they do so many tracks, they can go down in price. But I might try this too. I mean, this sounds interesting. Reviews were great. People said it sounded really, really good. So there are a lot of options. You can do your own research. But Waves got into this also, and they have done, plugins for years, and I'm sure we all have at least one Waves plugin somewhere in your collection, and they give you 1 track for free as a customer. So if you can try it for free, and I'm sure you just create an account. I already have an account, so I'm just gonna go right in, and I'm gonna use it and see, does it do anything, and how does it sound on one of my tracks? All right, here we go. So when you log into the Waves platform, you see that you're logged in up here. There's your credits will show up. There are a couple of videos, actually, how to get the most out of the service. And you have to understand, when you submit your file to the mastering house, they need to work with it. So you need some headroom, and you need to know how much headroom, right? I mean, don't send them a file that's at minus 12 dB. That's way too quiet. But if you go up to 0, peaking, then the mastering house has to lower the file in order to process them again with, more compression or EQing or whatever they do there. So it's always good to have a little bit headroom. And if you watch this video here,
processes and techniques,
and
service height
it
levels
shows
should
you,
be
here we
around
go.
-2 to
All right. Peak level should be around -2 to -4. So then there will be enough headroom for them to do their processing. So that's good to know, right? So there are a couple how to choose a reference track, when is a master done, all this. You can watch all this. This is nice. Let's find out how expensive Waves is to begin with. Okay, here we go. New window. It's cheap right now. $5.99 a track, and 5 credits will bring it down to $5 each. That's still pretty good. It's $25. And if you do, let's say, an album, which might be 10 tracks, right? It's $60. Okay, I can deal with that. Actually, $6 is pretty cheap. I have a feeling over the year they're gonna go up. If the other services are sitting at $10, why would Waves be, lower than that? I think that it's kind of brand new, so they're gonna get you hooked, and maybe next year it's gonna be $6.99 or $7, or something like that. Let's find out. At this point, I think even for $6, hey, what can you lose, right? That might be worth trying for $6. See what it does. All right, so that's that. All right. Once you have, go back to your mix, make sure your peak levels are between -2 and -4. So that's the headroom. And then you click here to add your track. Let's do that. So I'm adding a new song here, and it's currently uploading it. This is a 24-bit 48K file. So I record all my songs in 48. I think that's, for me, the perfect balance. I don't need to go to 96 or even higher. I think, CD doesn't even exist anymore, but for the phones, Spotify, all the platforms, 48 is great. So they're going to downsample anyway, most likely to 44.1 certain platforms. So, okay, waiting to be processed, on analyzing levels. Here we go. Okay. Let's see if I get scolded for being too hot on this. I have a feeling I didn't leave enough headroom, but let's find out what it says. So this might take a while. So we're just gonna fast forward this video to save your time. And then we can dive right into that process here at Waves Mastering. Ooh, yes, here we are back. Wasn't too long, actually. It was less than a minute, right? So click to preview your master. Preview is ready. Ooh, aha, brand new page. Okay, so volume match, master original. Let's see what it does. This is interesting. Now that's the important button right here. As you know, when you make it louder, you think it's better or something like that. The volume match, this is key. So let's try this again. Let's stay on organic, play the original first. All right, it brings it a little more together. Let's see, elevated. What happens here? Yeah, brings in a little more bass, a little more low end. Also, the drums are a little crispier. So I think I like the elevated for this kind of smooth jazz style. What's down here? Add tone. Add tone. Oh, hover over. Good. Add low frequency. Wait, don't go away. Add low frequencies in order to add a subtle sense of depth. Okay. Presence. Add presence. to make the master sound more open. Okay, that's the add some air, as you would call it, right? And both combine the depth and presence in order to add both. Well, of course, yeah, that makes sense, right? Okay, let's see what happens. Let's play this. I mean, it definitely boosts the low end, right? I hear the bass lines way stronger. Maybe it's too much. That's the question. There's no slider, so it's either or. So maybe a compromise would be to go back to organic and then try the death button. Yeah, I don't need more air because violin already has some, a lot of overtones on the E string, and I actually don't like those, so I want to keep this smooth. So, but that's interesting. So if you add the death on the bass to the organic, gives a little more, maybe in between. If you go to elevated and add it, I think it's almost too much, depending for this style, right? I mean, if you have a different style, it might be just right what you need. Maybe, I'm not sure. I don't know if I can download 2 of those to compare later, but I have a feeling you only get one master. It says create master, right? You only get one. You can add a reference track. Okay, this could be interesting if you have a track that is like yours. I have a hard time sometimes finding that because, right, we all do individual music. Yeah, it's maybe same orchestration and a certain vibe, but that's what makes everybody so different because the guitars do sound different between metal bands or rock or pop and all of that. So I don't know, the reference track, yeah, can be useful, but not for me because I can put in some other tracks and, there's different instruments creating completely different curves. And you know this from the tonal balance plugin by Ozone, which gives you different styles at least, which is a blend of like thousands of recordings. I like that better because you get a curve and you can fit in there with your sonic landscape. So, but a reference file, then it needs to really match what I'm doing. So, yeah, I don't need this here. So, okay, we got 4 options, and we can compare the original to the master and have a volume match, which is great, so that you don't get tricked. And down here, it says what's currently active. It says the elevated button is on and the death button is on. And once you click this, I guess, it's going to say ready to go. All right, let me compare this one more time. Might be too much low end. I'm still not sold yet on this for this kind of track. What I'm hearing right now on the elevated, it seems to be a little too much. Stick with organic, was a little smoother, and still get a little more depth, not presence, so less that. Okay, good. Let's create the master. See what it says. Calculating. Good. You have 1 credit available. By confirming, you will be using the credit. Let's do it. See, now it's preparing the master. And then I guess I can download it. I'm still wondering, do I get a 24-bit or 16-bit version? That's my next question for you guys at Waves. And I'm sure you do more tracks. You have them all lined up here, 10 tracks, and you can compare and all of this. So, okay, very simple. It's almost, I think Ozone has more options, right? But, this is, I guess, something also, if you just want to quickly do something and you want to listen, and for, again, $6, you get definitely an improvement. Here we go. Your master track is ready. You can now listen to it and download the final file. Got it. Okay, now it's ready. And what does it say here? Rate this master, master info. Okay, they're gonna send me a 24-bit at 48. Good. So you're getting the high res back. So you can then actually down sample it with your own DAW or Wavelab or any other software you have to 44.1, right? Do your own processing. So that's cool. Let's get it. I'm gonna download Wave. I can even get, I don't want MP3, but they offer it to me. Okay, good. So I guess I can download, oh, here we go, sample it. I can change it. Oh, they do upsampling. Okay, that's convenient. So I don't know their algorithm, but you could actually get it down. I don't know about the dither if they apply that, doesn't say. But let's stick with 2448 right now. Download. The only thing one surprises me for playback, you only could use that part in here. They didn't let you check the beginning or the ending of your file. So I don't know. And I can't move this, right? I can make a new region. So the region is fixed by the AI. That's a little odd, right? Because don't you want to hear the beginning of your track to see, that's, anyway, never mind. Maybe they picked this for a reason because it's the loudest, so it builds up, and that's where they do their magic. Not sure what that is here, but fine. It did work, and I downloaded, up here it is, in my folder, and I'm gonna actually run the same file through Ozone 10. I don't have 11. You can watch another video I did about that. But I can run it through Ozone 10 and see what Ozone does to this. And I might do a second video and compare that and see what the Waves does in comparison to the Ozone. But you know what? For $6, hey, one free track. You can try it anyhow. So a couple more options would be nice. But maybe in the next few years, they're going to improve this a little bit. But here we go. That's a little look at the Waves online mastering. Thanks for watching.